Hey, what's up studs? My name's Ryan or MandRproductions and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars Top 10 video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 LEGO Star Wars Polybags ever released. For this particular video, I am omitting May the 4th Polybags, as well as the Polybags that were included randomly in sets like the Gold C-3PO and Chrome Darth Vader. This is mainly going to take a look at Polybag sets that were either released in stores, part of giveaway promotions at stores, or part of the Brickmaster LEGO subscription service. Anyway, I do have a few honorable mentions because this was honestly a tough one for me to whittle on down to 10. There were about 13 that I couldn't quite get down to 10, so I decided to include the first 3 as honorable mentions, and the first one being the TIE Interceptor. This was probably one of my first LEGO Star Wars Polybags ever. This thing came out way back around 2004, and it was one you could buy in stores for like $3 or $4 at 6965. Again, just called the TIE Interceptor. It's just a cute little set. I think they did a particularly good job getting the wings to have the curvature that they needed to have. It looks incredible. You have the guns in there using just the 4 long rods, and you have a very nice little printed piece on top of the cockpit as well. So overall, this ship just goes together very nicely, and I love the small design of it. My next honorable mention is set number 30006. It's the Clone Walker. As far as I'm aware, this was never available in America, unfortunately, and thank God it wasn't, because I probably would have spent my life savings on this one. But the main reason for that is because it included a Clone Wars clone trooper. Unfortunately, I believe this was only available in like the UK with a newspaper, which is a weird way to do it, but that's the way this one was available, unfortunately. The main turnoff for me is the walker in this set. I just thought the design of this walker is just so odd. I know it's hard to get anything in this scale, but I think they could have done something different for the vehicle. I don't know. The walker has just always been odd to me. I've never owned this set, unfortunately, but it's just a cool one for the fact that it had a clone trooper, and that's why it is outside the top 10, but still made my honorable mentions list. My final honorable mention is the V19 Torrent set 8031. I remember buying 4 of these in Target back in 2008, I think around Easter, and these are just really cool. They have very nice posable things on them. So they have the one fin that goes from above the cockpit to below it, and then the 2 wings on the side can also fold up when in a landed position versus an in-flight position. So this is a great set just for the playability it has. I love the V19 Torrent mini set. I have a few of them, just one of the few that I actually have bought a few of. So let's move on and get started with the actual list. Number 10, we have the Ewing Fighter. This is a more recent one from Rogue One, and it's set 30496. This one you could pick up for like $4 at Walmart, I think. Again, it's just an interesting design, and I think LEGO did a great job getting the shaping down and scaled correctly. I love the engines in the back as well. You can see the cockpit on top there. Unfortunately, I don't think the wings fold out or anything like they do on the actual model, but then again, I don't know how you would get that in on a ship in this scale. It's just way too small for that. But overall, just a generally unique looking and darn good looking to scale model. Moving on, we have number 9, the 30247 ARC 170 Starfighter. I think this is one that I never saw in stores, but I ended up picking up on eBay or at a LEGO convention for maybe like $7 or $8, and it was from 2014. Just looking at the box art, I guess the Polybag art there. This was a minor improvement over the 2005 version of the mini ARC 170, but that's why it's number 9 on the list, and the other ARC 170 isn't on the list because it is an improvement. I really like the way they improved in this model. They just made it a little bit more sturdy. They added a few more little details. They just made it look generally better, and I think that's what gets me on this one. I really like the way this ARC 170 looks. Moving on to number 8, we have the 30051 XWing. This is another one that I found at Target way back in the day, I think with 61 pieces for $4. This again is an improvement over the 2004 mini XWing, so again, just like the ARC 170, this one is an improvement, and thus the other one is not on the list, and this one is. I guess the major knock on this one versus the older one is that this one didn't include the printed parts that the older one did, but I think just generally this model looks a lot better. They had newer techniques, newer pieces for this one. After 5 or 6 years passed, there's some new stuff there, so it actually looks a lot better in my opinion. You have the dark transparent cheese slope at the front there for the cockpit, which works really well. The engines look solid. Of course, using the flick-fire missiles for the blasters on the sides is probably the best thing to do, and it looks incredible. So I'm going to go with that X-Wing at number 8. Moving on to number 7, a set that easily could have been much higher in my opinion. Not really sure. I really like the speeder bike. It's a very unique speeder bike design. It's called the Imperial Speeder Bike 30005. This one was available at Toys R Us in the US. I bought quite a few of these back in the day for $4 at Toys R Us. Is a 2009 set, and man, just the nostalgia on this one. I believe they did actually re-release this one in a rebranded 2010 box art or polybag art. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I bought these in 2009 or 2010. I can't remember which polybag art mine had. I guess I'd have to dig out the polybags to find that out. But this is a really cool one because it includes a Stormtrooper, much like the one that included the Clone Trooper. But I think the vehicle in this one is better. I think the speeder bike here just is more representative of what the Stormtrooper would actually be riding, because it looks like the actual speeder bike you see in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Man, I wish I would have bought more of these back in the day. I did buy a few at Toys R Us, but dude, I just wish I had bought more because I love that original Stormtrooper design. Or I guess that's not the original Stormtrooper design, it's like the middle Stormtrooper design. But that 2009, 2010 era Stormtrooper, pretty dang solid design in my opinion, and I wish I had just bought more of those polybags. Anyway, moving on, we have number 6. And this is a set that I genuinely thought LEGO was going to make. Back when this polybag came out in 2012, I was like, oh, this is a precursor. Because if you'll notice, like, every other set that's had a polybag on this list has had a larger version of the set. And this one just didn't. This one never did. It's kind of unfortunate. But in 2012, they released this polybag. It was the Clone Wars colored MTT. And man, I bet LEGO had this set in development. I bet they did. And then they canceled the Clone Wars. I don't know. Part of me thinks LEGO was going to release this, and then they were like, no, we can't do it. We don't think it's going to do well enough, or something happened, because it's just weird that they made a polybag and didn't make a full version of the set that was the polybag. Anyway, my favorite thing about this is easily the color scheme. I just love the color scheme on the Clone Wars version of the MTT. I thought it was a very cool looking design, and I wish they had released it in full scale. That's my biggest thing with this one. I just wish they had released it in full scale. Just a very cool mini model though. I think it's very nice and compact, very well designed, holds the shape well, and I like the design overall. Okay, I'm looking through the polybags on brickset.com now, and there's literally not one set except for that MTT that was not created in a larger scale. That is literally the only LEGO Star Wars promotional polybag that was not created in a full-size set. I need answers. I really need answers. That is the craziest thing to me. I can't believe that. Unless you want to count the newer Kylo Ren Shuttle, which they remade in the correct colors, but I still firmly believe they'll remake that one in 2019, or with Star Wars Episode 9 coming out. Literally every other polybag, though, has been made in a full-size version of that set in the same color scheme. So I'm baffled on this one. I gotta do some asking around. Anyway, moving on, we have at number 5, the 30050 54 pieces. It's the Republic Attack Shuttle. This thing looks great. I love the colors on it. The cockpit actually works really well. The body of the ship is nicely scaled. And then, of course, you have the wings on either side that can fold up and down. You have the little antenna pieces used for the blasters at the front on either side on the hinge of the wings. The engines in the back, I know you can't see, but they do look very nice. And this, again, is just a very nice scaled down version of the larger model. Just one of the better mini models, in my opinion. This is another one that was available at Target around 2009 for $4. I remember seeing these on shelves. We're up to this one. It's been a long time, but that's a very cool one in at number 5. Maybe some of you guys remember seeing that one on shelves. That being said, let me know which of these you guys do remember picking up in stores or getting in the mail, I guess in the case of the Clone Walker, but let me know which one of these you guys have or is your favorite. Anyway, moving on, at number 4, we have the 20009 ATTE Walker with 94 pieces. This was part of the Brickmaster line of sets, so you couldn't get this like in Target or Walmart. You had to be subscribed to the Brickmaster subscription service that LEGO offered back around 2008, 2009, 2006, 2007, whatever the years were. But this is a 2008 Clone Wars art, so that's when this one was available. It's a pretty solid model, other than I would say the middle leg. I think the middle leg could use some work there, but other than that, it's a very bulky, damn good looking ATTE. Anyway, moving on, we have number 3, the 20007 Republic Attack Cruiser. This is another one that was exclusive to the Brickmaster line in 2008 or 2009 or something, and it had an incredible look to it. It had the turrets on the sides. It had the separated bridge in the center, which is something that the later polybag that came out of the Venator lacked because it was a lot smaller. You got the red stripe going down the center. You got some more red detailings on the sides. The engines in the back probably look pretty dang good as well. I love that they were able to separate the levels of the Venator as well there. You can see there's like a gap in the middle, which is kind of accurate to what the larger model is. So this was a great scaled down version of that larger Venator that we had later in the LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars line after this came out, I believe. Just a generally cool model and a very nice large polybag set. Speaking of nice and large polybag sets, the 20010 Republic gunship did not disappoint. This thing retained the shape of the actual Republic gunship almost to a T. Like you could scale this up and it would look just fine. The cockpits look great. You have the engines that probably could use a little bit of work. That's probably the one weird part of this set to me. The wings with the little bubble turrets on the sides. I know they're not really turrets, but like you have the little bubbles where the troopers can go into using a clear stud, I guess, in this case. But they look pretty dang good as well. You have the antennas for weapons in the front, and then you have some nice slopes below the cockpits there that slope off down to the bottom of the ship. You have the nice lime green accent in the front there as well. And then, of course, you have the bay for the troops in the back there, which is an always open position, which I think is just fine. So that's a Republic gunship from about 2009, 2010 from the Brickmaster line. So you weren't buying that one in store, unfortunately. And the final #1 LEGO Star Wars Polybag ever released, in my opinion. Of course, we have some exclusions to this with the May the 4th line and the minifigures released in sets randomly. But this one from Brickmaster, the Clone Turbo Tank, is my favorite. This thing, I just, for whatever reason, I bought this one over the summer, and I really like it because the wheels roll very nicely. That's probably why I like it. I don't know, man. The wheels roll nicely. It has a great design to it. You have the little lookout thing on the top of it. You have the weapons on the sides. You have a few dark red accent marks on the ship as well, or on the vehicle as well, I should say. Of course, all 10 wheels is great to see. Anyway, that's my #1 favorite LEGO Star Wars Polybag ever released. Let me know in the comment section below which one is your favorite. It doesn't have to be on this list. It could be another polybag that you may own or have seen around on the internet. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And again, if you have a favorite LEGO Star Wars Polybag or an idea for a future LEGO Top 10 video, leave in the comments section below. That's all the time I have for today, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.